In a typical Moravian way, I want to bring you greetings from the Moravian team for racial, ethnic, and cultural reconciliation. I have worked with this team for over 14 years. For the Moravian Church Southern Province, race was addressed at a special synod in 1968 when inclusion was legislated. In 2006, the Southern Province apologized for slavery and created a working group to be intentional about racism by identifying our history of racism and our present struggle with racist practices and attitudes within our denomination. Our hope for this conference is that your findings dovetail with our work and spur us to further understand the continuing action we need to take. If there was one thing that I need to say to you about the Moravian Church and racism, it would be, we got it wrong. Some questions that should have been in place were not. We should have realized and confirmed that we were treating our brothers and sisters of color as less than human when we accepted and worked in the context of slavery. We got it wrong when we felt the need to segregate ourselves from our Christian brothers and sisters of color in our congregations in the early 1800s. We believed these brothers and sisters' souls were saved, but we supported the enslavement of their bodies. We got it wrong when we allowed the racist culture of the South to influence our theology and practice, and we supported Jim Crow segregation and institutional racism. How do we correct this? Because we are a majority of white people in the Moravian Church South, it is important for those of us who are white to struggle to understand the racism we have inherited and deconstruct it brick by brick. This means that we use our courage to look at this inheritance of racism, this unspoken ideology that is within each of us. White Moravians have stood beside our sisters and brothers of color, but we have never tried to understand what white Moravians bring to the relationship that divides us. We need to know the story of oppression and segregation and institutional racism that bear down on our sisters and brothers of color. And the Moravian Church South especially needs to understand how white culture and the legal system of America and the predominantly white institutions empower racism to continue. We have much work to do. This is what the Moravian team for racial, cultural, and ethnic reconciliation is trying to do. Right now, there are groups within our congregation studying racism, and this is a hopeful sign. Of course, the recent civil unrest has provided an urgency for us. Over the years, we have had film viewings in partnership with Old Salem and the Salem congregation, which have helped us face our responsibilities in racism. The young people of the Moravian Church are a priority for this team, and we believe that Old Salem offers us a unique place to have history walks that focus on our racial divide through the lens of our spirituality, thus bringing reconciliation. We have much work to do. I want to thank you for this conference and for bringing focus to our history and the present in a way that has the potential to guide us in our future work. God bless you all.